Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Few franchises have as passionate a fan base as Star Wars and Star Trek do, with the stereotype being that audiences must pick a side. Star Trek debuted first, with its eponymous series premiering in 1968 and launching a veritable film and television empire after reaching cult classic status, while Star Wars became an immediate hit upon its 1977 theatrical release. Both have maintained pop culture relevance over the last 40-plus years as staples of the sci-fi genre. Despite their outer space settings and prominence around the same time, each has a unique approach to their lore and storytelling that sets them apart. John Boyega, who starred as Finn in the Disney-backed Star Wars sequel trilogy, recently addressed the comparison, praising the one thing he felt Star Trek did better: taking its time via Gizmodo. The actor explained. However, when asked if he would consider switching allegiances, Boyega denied any interest in joining the Star Trek franchise. He stated, "In terms of me appearing in Star Trek, I've got to stay on team. I'm a lightsaber guy." Recently, Boyega has been speaking his mind about how the Star Wars franchise has developed. In particular, the actor outlined the major changes he would have made to the sequel trilogy. Firstly, Boyega would not have written out original stars Mark Hamill and Harrison Ford, but rather fulfilled their legacy along with that of the late great Carrie Fisher. Secondly, he would have made the new characters less powerful so that audiences could follow their development over time, as they did with Hamill's Luke Skywalker in the first 3 films. The actor was clear about his dissatisfaction with the direction Disney and Lucasfilm took with Finn's storyline, stating any return to Star Wars was dependent on treating the character well. Though the Star Wars sequel trilogy ended 6 years ago, the franchise is still releasing new installments, with The Mandalorian and Grogu hitting theaters next year and a new trilogy in the works. Given his comments, Boyega is unlikely to reprise his role. Likewise, the actor doesn't see himself joining Starfleet anytime soon, but was quick to praise Star Trek and note where the rival series outdoes Star Wars. Taking Boyega's advice to heart might help Lucasfilm hit the mark that many fans felt the sequel trilogy missed and potentially convince him to return. For years, Star Wars and Star Trek have been viewed as two sides of the same cosmic coin, bound by the same stars, but divided by fandom. Both universes tell stories of adventure, courage, and morality among the stars, yet their philosophies couldn't be more different. And now, one of Star Wars' brightest stars, John Boyega, is shedding light on what the galaxy far, far away might actually learn from its long-running sci-fi cousin. In a recent interview promoting his latest sci-fi project, Boyega was asked about the ongoing cultural rivalry between Star Wars and Star Trek. With his trademark candor and humor, the former Finn actor didn't hold back. "You know," Boyega began, flashing that mischievous grin fans adore, "Star Wars could stand to learn a thing or two from Star Trek, especially when it comes to how they handle hope, diversity, and the future." It's a bold statement, one that ignited immediate conversation across both fandoms. But Boyega, never one to dodge a tough question, elaborated thoughtfully. "Hope that belongs to everyone." Boyega's observation wasn't about ships, aliens, or technology. It was about heart. "Star Trek has always shown a future that feels inclusive and forward-thinking," he said. "It's not just one family's story or one bloodline saving the galaxy again and again. It's humanity working together, evolving together." That's powerful. The actor's words echo sentiments long shared by fans who've noticed how Star Trek's future-oriented optimism differs from Star Wars' mythic drama. Whereas Star Wars often revolves around the Force, destiny, and legacy, Star Trek roots itself in progress, a society that's already overcome its darkest instincts to reach the stars as equals. For Boyega, who's been outspoken about issues of representation in Hollywood, this isn't just an abstract point. "When I watch Star Trek, I see a future where I belong," he said. "Every culture, every color, every accent, they're all part of the bridge crew. It's not tokenism. It's world building with empathy." The actor reflected on his own experience in Star Wars, where Finn's character arc, once promising a major role as a reformed stormtrooper turned hero, became sidelined in later films. I'll always be proud of what we did, Boyega explained. But sometimes I think Finn's story could have been told with more balance, more purpose. Star Trek wouldn't have been afraid to let that story breathe. Trading lightsabers for phasers? Naturally, the interviewer couldn't resist asking the ultimate fan question. If given the chance, would Boyega ever trade his lightsaber for a phaser and join Starfleet? Boyega laughed. Man, I don't know. That's a dangerous question. A lightsaber is hard to beat. It's cool. It's elegant. It's everything you dream of as a kid. But Starfleet, that's a different kind of power. It's not just about fighting. It's about exploring, about understanding. That's something I'd love to do on screen. Pressed further, he admitted he's not opposed to crossing over. I think I'd look pretty good in a Starfleet uniform, he joked. Give me the captain's chair, a phaser, and a moral dilemma, and I'll show you something special. It's an intriguing thought. Boyega as a Star Trek officer, a mix of Captain Sisko's gravitas and Lieutenant La Forge's curiosity, is a concept fans would no doubt rally behind. Imagine a crossover, he teased. Finn gets pulled through a wormhole, ends up in Star Trek's universe, and has to learn how to solve problems without a lightsaber. That would be wild. From rebellion to exploration, Boyega also touched on the different tones between the two franchises. Star Wars is about rebellion, about fighting against oppression. And that's powerful, he said. But Star Trek is about what happens after you win that fight. It's about building something better. That's the next step humanity needs to see. He compared it to the evolution of storytelling itself. Audiences are ready for sci-fi that doesn't just show us endless wars in space, Boyega noted. They want to see what peace looks like, what discovery feels like, how we grow beyond conflict. Star Trek does that. It challenges us to think bigger. This theme of growth resonates with Boyega personally. After his Star Wars journey, he's focused on projects that explore complex human emotions and social ideas. From his riveting performance in They Clone Tyrone to his advocacy for racial equality in the entertainment industry. I've seen how stories can change people, he said. And sci-fi, when done right, has the power to show us not just where we are, but where we could be. Lessons from the Final Frontier. When asked what specific lessons Star Wars could learn from Star Trek, Boyega didn't hesitate. Perspective, he said. Trek shows us that the galaxy isn't just about heroes and villains. It's about everyone in between, the engineers, the scientists, the diplomats. Every story matters. He went on to praise Star Trek's willingness to tackle social and philosophical issues head-on. You watch an episode of Trek, and it might be about an alien virus, but really it's talking about humanity, our fears, our prejudices, our potential. Star Wars could explore that side more deeply. It has the mythology, but it could use more of the message. Boyega even expressed admiration for the way Star Trek evolves with the times. Look at Strange New Worlds or Discovery, he said. They're taking risks, telling new kinds of stories, giving voices to people who were never centered before. That's what keeps a franchise alive. Star Wars has the same potential. It just needs to look forward instead of always looking back. The bridge between two galaxies. Despite his candid critique, Boyega made it clear that his love for Star Wars hasn't faded. That galaxy will always be home, he smiled. But Star Trek, that's like the neighbor's house you always wanted to visit. They've got different rules, but the same stars overhead. He even shared that he's been rewatching some Star Trek classics lately. Man, The Next Generation? Brilliant. Patrick Stewart as Picard. He's the gold standard for leadership. Calm, compassionate, always thinking before acting. Every time I see that, I think, that's what a Jedi should have been like. Boyega's admiration for both franchises reveals something deeper, that perhaps the long-standing rivalry between Star Wars and Star Trek is more cultural than creative. At the end of the day, he concluded, we're all fans of the same dream, a better future. Whether it's the Force or warp drive, we're all trying to get there. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and stay with us.